Imagine you load into a game for the first time and you're already the hero. But it's like you've woken up with amnesia because all of the characters seem to know you already, but you've never met them. Apparently, you have a best friend and an arch nemesis, and maybe you have a love interest. I still can't tell what Link and Zelda have going on there, but it's really cute and I'm here for it. This is what it's like to play Tears of the Kingdom as a first-time Zelda player. Welcome to my channel. I'm Emma. I'm a video game lover, and I'm always searching for those moments in gaming that fill me with awe, and Tears of the Kingdom has a lot of those, especially at the end, but we'll get to that later, and I promise I won't spoil anything without giving you a heads up. For reference, my all-time favorite games are Skyrim and Witcher 3. I also really enjoy cozy games like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, and I'm a part-time guardian of the light. You might be asking, why was your first Zelda game Tears of the Kingdom? Why didn't you play Breath of the Wild first? Listen, I wasn't planning on playing the game, but when Tears of the Kingdom launched and everybody was raving about how fun it was, I just wanted to check it out and join in on the hype. But I didn't know how much I would love the game, and that's what I did. I fell absolutely head over heels in love with the game, all while having no idea what was happening. And it was quite the journey, let me tell you. In fact, it was a year-long journey because I just finished the game. Why it took so long doesn't matter. What matters is that every time I came back to play the game, I was just as excited to keep playing as I had been before. And not every game can make you feel that way. The beginning was rough. It didn't help that I started off with a twig as a weapon and had basically no experience with Nintendo controls. I fumbled my way through almost the whole game. But that's okay because it made my victories in battle all that much sweeter. What really threw me off was how cozy and wholesome this game was. I don't know why, but for some reason that wasn't what I expected a Zelda game to be. But when I was running around on that beautiful sky island with that sweet music playing in the background as I picked apples from trees and roasted them by a campfire, that was when I realized that this game was made for me too. And even though this is my first Zelda game, it was already feeling like home, and I could imagine just how nostalgic it must have felt to be a returning player. For those of you who are watching who are considering whether or not you want to pick this game up for yourself, I'll give you my pros and cons and overall review of the game, and I won't spoil anything beyond what you encounter at the first part of the game. And for those of you who have finished the game and want to know my thoughts on the story, I will have that at the end. My first pro with this game is that it is gorgeous. Everything about the environment of the game is stunning. From the autumnal hues of the first area you explore to the vibrant sunsets, the music is enchanting and lulls you into the world. And the characters are absolutely endearing. The fondness that you feel for them right from the start is tangible, and I'm almost getting emotional just thinking about some of them. This game is downright wholesome, okay? Which leads to my next pro, which is that this game is emotionally investing. Again, I don't know where my misconception came from that it wouldn't be, but I wasn't expecting it nonetheless. The cutscenes in this game make you feel like you're watching a Ghibli movie, but rather it's a world that you get to be a part of and immersed in. And I'm not gonna lie, some of them are tearjerkers, but in the best way, because this game captures what I think is one of the most magical qualities about video games, and that's being able to feel something real from a fictional world. That should be all you need to know about whether or not you should play this game. You should. I'm sure that the majority of Zelda players will tell you that you ought to start with Breath of the Wild first. It's what they told me my whole playthrough, but ultimately you don't have to. I didn't, and I still had a great experience in Tears of the Kingdom. But if you game enough and you think you'd have enough time to play both, then I absolutely think it'd be a great idea to start with Breath of the Wild, and give you a lot of context in the game that I certainly had to figure out for myself. Now, if you didn't know, this game has a lot of puzzle solving, but they're not stressful, they just require a creative imagination. Something that I quickly realized with this game is that if you have an idea, it will probably work. Gone are my gaming days of thinking, oh, it would be cool if the game let me do this. It probably will. It'll probably be really cool. Or a vehicle of mass destruction. I don't know. I definitely made a couple of those. Sometimes on accident, but it definitely brought out my inner child that wanted to play and build new things and see what would happen. The game let me imagine, and then it let me create. And it undoubtedly made me a smarter person because some of those puzzles are challenging. For my cozy gamers listening, I think you'll love this game. Sure, it's no farming sim, but you can spend your time wandering the world, solving these puzzles at your leisure, or helping koroks. And if you don't know what koroks are, they're about to be your new favorite thing. I love them so much. They are so cute and precious and must be protected at all costs. I promise I didn't mean to launch that one time. You'll likely encounter some monsters and enemies to fight along the way, but nothing too difficult or scary if you really are looking for a more passive experience. In fact, I know a lot of players didn't finish the story simply because they enjoyed exploring the world. You don't have to be the hero of Hyrule in this game, but also don't be afraid to be either. All my cozy gamers out there, I promise you have what it takes to fight your way through the campaign if you want, because the ending of this game was one of the most glorious moments I have had the pleasure of experiencing in gaming. It was absolutely worth it. And you can continue to play the game after you've beat the story too. It'll just take you back to your last save before you finish the story, and you can play as much as you want from there. My list of cons is really short, starting with the fact that this game is only available on the Nintendo Switch. As an extension from that, the graphics quality of the game is a bit low because the Switch is not a very powerful console. But the plus side to that is the Switch is portable and can be played handheld, so that's pretty nice for the cozy gamers who just want to play on the sofa. I only really noticed the graphics quality when playing on a bigger screen, but you get used to it very quickly. The other con for me was lack of customizable controls. I think you can swap 2 of the button bindings, but that's about it. I'm not sure why, but the controls didn't feel intuitive to me, and I struggled to get the muscle memory down. But again, that didn't stop me. Lastly, if this is your first Zelda game like it was mine, it can be really easy to feel overwhelmed or not understand what the game is expecting you to do. There's so much freedom in this game that when you find yourself needing more guidance, it can be hard to figure out on your own. I played this on stream, so anytime I was struggling with something and needed a hint, I was able to get it from my chat. However, I still played as blindly as I could and figured out as much for myself as I could, and because of that, I feel like I was probably stuck in quite a primitive state for most of the game. I bet I could have had better armor and weapons and strategies, but it worked for me, and I have a sense of pride that I was able to beat the game my way. And that's where I'll leave you for the spoiler-free part of my review. I hope you'll like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're interested in watching my playthrough of the game, I will have it linked below. You can also catch my live streams on Twitch at She's Emma. I'll probably be playing Fallout 4 next, so follow me on there to keep up with my journey. Okay, now let's get into the juicy part. Spoilers incoming, you've been warned. Something that I actually really appreciated about the ending of Tears of the Kingdom was how predictable it was. It was the happy ending that I hoped for, and the delivery was 10 out of 10. When I was fighting the Demon King at the end, I expected him to have a few phases and tricks up his sleeve, but I was not expecting him to become a dragon. That was shocking. But as soon as he did, I knew that Zelda in dragon form would be there to catch me and help me, and it felt so right. And I knew that the final blow was going to be plunging the Master Sword into his head, just like we had pulled it out of Zelda's. It was predictable and deliciously satisfying. And don't even get me started on the full circle moment of catching Zelda as she was falling when we had failed to at the beginning. Had I been playing on my own and not live on stream, I know I would have been sobbing. I suspect that most Zelda games follow the same format of being predictable but having excellent delivery, and like I said, I can really appreciate that. Not every story has to have an insane plot twist or an ending that you didn't see coming. But in a way, I kind of did have that unpredictable experience with the game because I wasn't prepared for how much I'd grow to love it, or for the ways in which it would touch my heart. But I'm comforted in knowing that I can go back and explore and keep playing as much as I want, and I'm also newly inspired to play more games that I never gave a chance. As I said, I think Fallout 4 will be that next game for me, and I'll be uploading my playthrough of that game to this channel as well if you want to follow along and see my experience in that universe. But thank you so much for watching this video. It's my first time making a video like this, so let me know if I should make more like these for the other games that I finish. And please comment any other games you'd like to see me play, because I'm always keeping a list in my head of what I should check out next. I hope you'll like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next series. Bye.